Alright, what is up, YouTube? This is GameKnight, and this will be my first Let's Play of 7 Days to Die. To me, this is the quintessential zombie apocalypse game. It's got elements of survival, first-person shooter, crafting and building. It's just an awesome all-around game. And it actually spawned us in a really sweet spot here. And by us, I mean me and my wife. She'll be playing with me through this series. So to begin with, if you're playing a multiplayer game, the first thing you want to do is get together. Well, actually, the first thing you want to do is avoid incoming zombies, like I've got coming at me right now. So let's see if I can get out of her sense range. I don't like going into the wasteland, but I gotta get out of sight and out of mind. Anyways, the first thing you want to do, and there's another one. Damn it! This is something you're gonna have to deal with. This is it's a learning curve. Oh god, that's a spitter. Wow, this Let's Play tutorial is just going swimmingly already.
I'm right behind you, by the way.
Are you? Where? What do you mean
right here? Like, right here.
Oh, wow, okay, there we go. Okay, we got a hornet coming in, so we might have to see if I can... That just punched a hornet in the face. That's awesome. Here it comes again. Come here. Come on. Little fisticuffs. I got a zombie coming in too. This is totally not going the way I wanted it to begin with.
I'm gonna see if I can get to a safe location so I can craft a stone axe.
I'm gonna see if I can beat a zombie and a hornet to death with my bare fists. So, this is something you don't want to do unless you're in extreme desperation, which I kind of am right now. Here in a minute, I will teach you guys what you would ideally want to do. Holy shit! I just beat a zombie to death. Cool. I didn't think that would work. Don't need any of that. Alright. I'm gonna head back into the forest. And that is where I'm gonna want to start the official tutorial. Babe, where are you at?
I'm right here.
You just killed that hornet too, didn't you?
I did.
Alright, well I got like a whole crap ton of zombies following me. And I'm gonna head into the forest and then we can add each other.
I'm doing my best to do a stone axe here.
Okay. I'm, like I said, I'm headed into the forest and hopefully I can get a little bit of a breather so that I can get into the tutorial part of this. Okay. I think I'm okay for the moment. Alright, so, yeah, like I said, quintessential zombie apocalypse game, and as you can see, you are heavily outnumbered. And you always have to be alert, because your surroundings are definitely hazardous. So the first thing you want to do in a multiplayer game is to bring up your map, and down here on the right you'll see a list of players who are on the server, and the only person that's listed, because this is a LAN game, is my wife. And normally you would click on their name and click invite if you were intending to send an invite, but she beat me to the gun. So when someone sends you a request, you click on their name in the friends request tab and click accept, and then as you'll see, it'll be listed on your friends list. And the next thing you do, let me show you this real quick too. On the map, this white arrow here is you, and any friends you have added and who have added you will be these red arrows, and you'll see their name listed there. If you want to be able to track them easily without having to look for them on the map, you'll click their name, make sure it's highlighted, and then you'll choose track friend. And you'll see this little white check mark here next to their name, and that will allow you to, if you look at the bottom center of my screen right above my toolbar, you'll see a compass. You see that green arrow there? that is where Tiger is. That's where my wife is. And that's how you guys can find each other and meet up and be able to watch each other's backs. Now, right now, she's having to fend for herself while I kind of take a minute to get prepared with the basics. So whenever you're dropped into, as soon as you spawn, the first thing you're going to want to do is create a stone axe. That is your basic weapon gathering tool. It's your handy-dandy everything you need for the beginning of the game. So the first thing you want to do is find some grass and smack it with your fist until it drops, and then you press E to pick it up. And you'll see if you press I, this is your inventory here, and I've picked up blades of tall grass. And then this is the crafting grid. This is your recipe list, and I'll get into all that in a minute. The next ingredient you're going to need is stick. To get sticks, just for starting out, you want to find a bush, whether it looks like this twiggy thing here, and you see it drops a stick, or let me see if I can find one that's got leaves on it. Leaves. Sure. One time I want to use it for a demonstration. There's not one around. Wow, there's not any around right at the moment. Well, anyways, there's other kinds of bushes. You'll be able to tell them apart from the grass. But that's where you get your basic sticks. And the next thing you want to find are these guys here, these small stones. They stick out pretty well from whatever environment they're in. So then, again, you hit E to pick it up. And now you've got a stick, a small stone, and a blade of grass. Just to give you a leg up without having to look it up, under tools and traps is where the stone axe is listed. And you'll see you'll need a stick, which is easy, but these other two things you don't quite have yet. You could do some hunting around, you could look at the wiki or whatever, but that's the point of this guide, is to kind of give you a shortcut past that. So this here is a plant fiber. In order to get that, you process the tall blades of grass. And now we've got plant fibers. The next thing here is a sharp stone. And you get that from processing small stones. Now, the cool thing about this crafting grid here and the recipe list in conjunction is whatever you want to learn how to make, you just select it in your recipe list, and it will give you the pattern to follow in the grid. And a lot of recipes are very specific about where you need to place the items on the grid. You can't just like follow the pattern but put it like, you know, up one or over one or anything like that. You've got to put it in the right places. But at any rate, now that we've got the resources to craft the stone axe, you'll see that it's a brighter color. So we click on that and we follow the pattern in the recipe list, and we've got a stone axe. Like I said, this is what you need to start off with. This is what you got to do in order to be better than naked in the world with a bunch of undead flesh eaters trying to take a piece out of you. Once you've got your basic stone axe, then it's about resource gathering. Tiger, I'm going to ask you to make your way back over to me when you have the opportunity. Just because the forest is where we really want to start out at. Once you guys have got your stone axe crafted, and if you're playing with other players, have hooked up with each other, you want to find your way to a forest. The forest is the ideal biome to start out in, just because it's so resource rich and has so many things that will help you to survive more efficiently and get to the point that you can thrive. So now that I'm here, I'm going to collect a few more blades of grass because we can use that for some handy stuff like torches and your first ranged weapon, which will be the crossbow, and I'll get into that in a minute. Just going to grab a few more of these. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is cut down a couple of trees, which will give you wood logs. Now, the wood logs are a really good resource to have because you get wood planks, which will be useful for building structures, as well as you can then process the wood planks down into larger amounts of sticks. And as you can see, it takes a few whacks, and of course, trees knock down a lot faster with the higher tiered tools that you eventually get. But it's not too bad, even with a stone axe. It takes like, I don't know, 10 swings or something like that, something around there. So cut down a couple trees. You want to be collecting some more small stones as you go. And let's see, the next thing I want to show you guys to pick up is these guys right here, cotton. And cotton is a resource that really can only be found in the forest. Again, that's another reason I say you want to start out in the forest if at all possible, because cotton allows you to create your first tier of armor, as well as allowing you to create your spawn points, which are in the forms of beds, and the most basic form of a bed in the game is a sleeping bag. These guys here are handy, again found in the forest. Goldenrod flowers. These guys make the most useful drink in the game, aside from coffee. The drink is goldenrod tea. So as you're wandering through the forest, you just kind of want to be picking up goldenrod, cotton, small stones, and then any trash you come along, trash piles. These are, you know, loot containers. Oh, good, feathers. Feathers are one of the other things you want to look for early on, because they are essential to creating the ammunition for your crossbow. Okay, there's Tiger there. You see another figure running through the woods. Your initial response is to kind of freak out and jump for a minute, but it's always nice to see a friendly face. Okay, so continue to pick those up, and then let's see, stone axe, wood, small stones, cotton, goldenrod. Let's see. The next thing I'll show you to start gathering too, that you can do with your stone axe, is these big rocks that spawn on the overworld. These guys are your ticket into the next tier of crafting, which is your iron tools. And I'll get into that as soon as I gather enough of these. You're gonna want to gather. Well, here, I'll show you. Let me finish busting it down. Each of these big rocks takes several hits to knock down, and they break in 3 stages, just like you saw happen there. Every rock breaks down like that. Once you get an iron pickaxe, they break down in like 2 swings, so it's a lot more efficient. What are you doing, hon? What are you gathering?
I'm just kind of gathering, basic.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so when you break down those big rocks, they give you these things here. Iron fragments, which are what you need for your iron tools, and I'll show you how to work that forward. Potassium nitrate powder and coal. Now, coal is a good fuel source for furnaces, but it's also good. Potassium nitrate and coal combined are good for making gunpowder. Oh, sounds like Tiger's attracted some guests. Let's see if we can. Oh crap! I missed. Ow! Awesome. Hornets are good, and you can hear she just looted it. Hornets are good for honey. She took it out of the hornet. That's okay. And honey is a decent little food source. That you can use to kind of get by. You want to pass me that real quick so that I can show them what it looks like? She's gonna drop it there. So see, when you kill a hornet, you get these jars of honey, and you can see the stats here. They give you 40 stamina, so they're a good like quick stamina recharge when your stamina goes down. And they give you fullness, which is what you get from eating, and then hydration as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop them so you can pick them back up. That's something else I actually need to go over right now. In the lower left, you'll see 4 bars. Those 4 bars represent your vitality. Your first bar to the far left is your health, and as you can see, I'm about 2/3 health because I had a couple of nasty encounters. Next is the stamina bar. That allows you to do activities more efficiently from harvesting resources to when you sprint. It takes stamina to sprint, and your stamina is affected by your hydration, which is the blue bar on the far right with the water drop on it. And your health, your maximum health, is directly affected by your fullness. And you recharge your fullness by eating food, and your hydration by drinking liquids such as water, which I have here. And then you start off with a can of stashed chili and a bottle of water. And I'll go into the other two things here in just a second after I take this naughty nurse out. And yes, I did just call her a naughty nurse. As you can see, the zombies aren't too bad. A couple of hits to the head will take them out most of the time. Blood draw kit. Those, I don't want to get into that right now. Those will be handy down the line for making med kits, which are your top tier healing item. So I'm going to collect a few more resources here. And actually, I think the next thing I want to go into is your first ranged weapon, because we've gathered enough resources to be able to do that. So, I'm going to crouch down here. Oh, that's something else I want to show you real quick before I show you the crossbow. Man, there's so much information to share with you guys. In the center, you'll see my reticle has become what looks like a squinted eye. And let me stand up and crouch again. And you'll see what it says, undetected. And when it's squinted like that, that means there's nothing, there are no enemies, whether it's zombies, zombie dogs, wasps, whatever the case. You're not detected or sensed by any of them. Let me see if I can get someone's attention here. I think I saw a spider zombie over here. Let me see. Okay, so let me get close enough and try and attract his attention. Let me see if I hit the ground, get his attention. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now see how it went from a squinted eye to a big eye saying hunted? That means that I have a zombie actually tracked onto me. They know where I am and they're coming straight for me. There's a second stage where a zombie has sensed you, but they don't know exactly where you are, and that's represented by an eye that is like somewhere in between. So that's a heads up for helping you to stay safe. Paper. Oops. I guess I'll go ahead and take the paper. So, next thing was the crossbow. For the crossbow will be under ammo and weapons. And this looks like the little gun and the bullet. And just as a note, your stone axe, if you're wanting to know where that is to begin with, it's under the wrench, which is your tools and traps. Back to the crossbow. Under ammo and weapons, and you'll see right here, crossbow. And what you need for that is sticks and plant fibers. So we don't have sticks or plant fibers yet, but we have the resources necessary to make them. So I'm going to process for logs, and I'm hearing zombies. Are we okay?
I'm sensed.
So am I. I'm undetected. Okay, yeah, they're coming in. Let's just go ahead and take them out.